Hello, aspiring developer. Now that we have tackled design documents and how to build those, how to put those together and all the problems associated with that and all the things that they solve for you, now we can start to look at data structures and data types again. And I'll just say I started with this, but then realized I jumped into it too soon. And so I backtracked a little bit to tackle design documents, and now we're back on data structures. So I've already covered primitives, and I'll include the link to that post in this one. I don't necessarily want to cover those again, but I do want to start with the overarching why. So today I'm going to show why I want to tackle data structures, the problem it'll solve, the solution that I'm going to approach, and the result that it will create for you. And then next I'm going to show you what our adventure is going to look like over the next couple of days. So first and foremost, the problem is if you have never programmed anything and you're getting into no code, there are certain skills that you are lacking to help you be effective. And specifically, you don't know how data structures and data types influence the apps that you build, and this leads to bugs and frustration. If I experience it, and I did yesterday, then I know that you will experience it the moment you try to program something yourself. Data types and data structure are very, very important to understand when you're building your apps. And if you don't understand it, you will run into bugs, and they will be frustrating, and you won't understand why things are broken. The second part to this is I was talking with Dan Smith, and he shared that sometimes he felt like when interacting with developers that he had this feeling of, oh, it's not coded. I'm not a real developer. And that other devs have likely said that to him as well. And I want to tackle that problem too. You don't need to be a programmer. You don't need to write code to be a real developer. You simply don't. It's not required. You do still need to know how these data types work. And you do still need to know how to think logically and methodically to deconstruct your problems. And that's what I'm going to be teaching you. You no longer need to learn an entirely new language with no code. You only need to know how to think in your own language. For me, it's English. For you, it might be something else. To deconstruct the problems and create the solutions you're looking for. And that is incredibly freeing. So those are the main two problems I'm looking to tackle by teaching you data structures and other things. The solution is I'm going to show you common tools like spreadsheets and then map them, show you how they are highly useful programming tools and map them to vocabulary in the programming space so that you can begin to speak like a developer. And the result that I hope to create for you is one that you can recognize the different data types and how they are used so you can eliminate bugs and frustration and save yourself hours of time. And then the last thing is that you can feel like you are a developer. I want you to feel that. I want you to feel confident in your ability to walk into a room, talk to developers, and understand what they're saying and what they're talking about, especially when they get down into these data structures. So our adventure is going to be built out of three parts. Primitives, which we have already covered. I'll show that to you here. So we talked about the integers, Boolean, float, double, and string. I won't cover those again. Again, I'm going to add a link. And then we're going to tackle dictionaries and lists. And then finally, we're going to get into JSON and APIs because data structures directly influence your JSON structures, which you'll learn about those, what they are, and the APIs. If you don't have an understanding of data types, it is a struggle to use APIs effectively, to build your own using no-code tools, and to consume others using no-code tools. This is a vital part of being a developer anywhere. You're always going to be integrating tools and understanding how to do that is reliant upon you learning these data types and data structures so you can create those APIs effectively. Know the data that will be part of them, how to structure it, how to make it work for you, and know the data types that are all part of that, all the little itty bitty pieces. And so that's the 3-part series we're going to be going through, and as per usual, I will be using SmartSuite and Flutterflow to show you how this looks like in practice. Right. So let's get started.